All right, welcome everyone to Buying Local. I'm your host, Mike Nelson from Five Towers Media. Joined today by, and Mike, I probably say this on every podcast, but I have a horrible issue with butchering people's last names.
It's Colvett. It's
Colvett, right?
Colvett, yep.
I don't know why I always want to say Colvetti, but I know that's not it. And when I went to say it, I was probably going to say it that way. So I just, best way to diffuse a bomb is to blow it up, I guess. So joined today by Mike Colvett from Cornell's Used Auto Parts. Used auto parts. I should know that.
Auto parts, yeah.
So, Mike,
why don't we just real quick just acquaint everyone that's listening with who you are and what Cornell's Auto Parts does.
Yeah. So my name is Mike Colvett. I'm the general manager of Cornell's Auto Parts in Greenfield Center, New York. Here, we were established in 1972. We're a second generation family owned salvage yard, currently owned by Casey Cornell. We sell recycled auto parts that are tested and warranted, for a fraction of the cost of the original OEM part. We currently have over 45 employees, 6 delivery trucks. We have 30 acres full of about 1,600 cars on site. So it's a pretty big organization here. We're also a part of an organization called Team PRP Northeast, which kind of gives us access to over 1 million parts available for next day delivery.
That's which is really cool
too, because that almost essentially makes a lot of, or not essentially, but it does make it a lot easier to find parts, I'd imagine. If I'm someone that's, whether I'm an auto shop, mechanic, an auto body shop, or just me looking for parts for a car, I'd imagine having that network really opens things up as far as what you can get.
It's huge. It's huge. I mean, there's over 20 facilities. We trade parts every night in Albany at a hub. It really was a big asset for our business. We handle everybody from the retail guy looking for a taillight to, the guy looking for a door or an engine transmission. So we kind of handle everything.
That whole
process for how you guys do that with, and maybe I'm probably going to mess that up too. So correct me as I say this wrong, but my understanding is, so you guys get orders for parts that maybe you don't have, but you're able to go to one of your partners in the network that has that part. And then same thing, they might get an order for a part that they don't have, but you do. And then you guys basically meet in one location every single night, exchange all this stuff, and then bring it back to where you are and get it out the door, right? Right? Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's spot on. So every night, rain, sleet, snow, whatever, we're down at that hub location and we're transferring parts. Like I said, there's about 20 recyclers, and in the group, we hold each other to, quality standard, in a timely delivery fashion. So, if I get that part here the next morning, it's prepped already, it's quality, ready to go on my truck as if it was our part. So we kind of hold each other to, accountability.
That was going to be a question I was
going to ask you about. That whole network was, how do you, because I know that you, obviously, because we work with you guys, I know that you have a very high standard for the quality of the parts. You're cleaning them, you're doing all these things before they go out the door. And I was wondering how that worked with your partners, as far as when they're, are they giving you a dirty part that you then got to clean, or they're already doing that stuff for you before you get it?
Yep. Every part in the yard is, like I said, it's very, very similar to us. They test their parts when they can, they clean them, they all have pressure washing systems and QC guys. So everything comes packaged and ready to go as if it was coming right out of our yard. So you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Oh God, I had another. Oh,
you know what I wanted to say too, or just kind of talk about was when you first started talking, second generation salvage yard. I know what a lot of people think salvage yards, the old, like from when I was younger, which was unfortunately very long ago at this point. It's just really different now. Salvage yards today versus what they were, 20 years ago. Like I remember when I was like a 20-year-old kid and going, back then we called them junkyards because that's basically what they were, right? And we would go to a junkyard and you'd try to get some old rotors off a Honda or something, and in a couple of instances, I mean, they would tell you to go out and get the part yourself. Like they wouldn't even go and
Yep.
get it. And then fast forward to today, help people understand, like, what's the difference between the old school junkyard and what Cornell's Auto Parts is today?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, back in the day, everybody had the perception of a junkyard. Everybody thinks you're out there, you go pull your own part and it's dirty and rusty and all that stuff. And today, I mean, we're a full service salvage yard. You call us, all of our stuff is live in our computer system. I know every part out there. I know where it is. I have pictures of the part. You call us, you let us know what you need. We get it pulled for you, and then it comes up and, we picture it and bring it through our extensive QC process, the cleaning it and multiple pictures and make sure the quality is up to our standards. And then it's ready for pickup or delivery. So it's pretty, the junkyards never had the computer system. They never had the people to, I think it's back there next to the pine tree in the back 40. You call me and I'll tell you, it's in row 10 and car number 2. I know exactly where everything is. And that's a big help to our industry.
It's funny that you say that, like
Back by the pine tree, because I can actually remember a specific experience where I was looking for a part, and I went to back then, again, it was a junkyard, right, up near Plattsburgh, New York, and I remember the guy telling me, like, yeah, you're gonna go out. There's gonna be a big old delivery truck. You're gonna turn right at that, and then down on your left is gonna be a group of cars. Go take a look and see if you can find it, kind of deal. It was like one of those. Oh, amazing. So it sounds like you guys have like a lot of logistics going on just from a inventory standpoint and software and knowing where it is, and quite the difference between what it used to be, right?
Absolutely. So it's definitely a big help.
What,
everything is tracked. Everything is tracked right from the beginning. It's sold. It's put into our operating system where we assign it to the person to pull it. They go out to the car, they pull it, they picture it, so we can tell if it's the right part and all that stuff. And and then it gets brought up, like I said, and washed and waxed and pictured there and onto our delivery rack.
Yeah, I know that we were
there recently doing a content shoot, and I remember watching just kind of the process you guys were going through with an engine, and just from start to finish, where the difference in what it looked like versus what it ended up looking like was a huge difference just in the cleaning side of things. So, and it sounds like, so when let's just say someone goes there to pick the part up, I mean, it sounds like it's coming out of there. It's going to be a very similar experience as far as if you go to an auto parts store and you're buying a new part, right? It's going to be clean. It's going to be shiny. It's going to be in working order. Is that fair? Is that fair to say? Like, obviously it's not brand new, but
obviously, we try to test every part. Sometimes these cars are in wrecks. It's hard to. And that kind of is, yes, the part will be ready, clean, nice, and then we offer warranties, a lot of times better than the dealership would. For that same used part. So we definitely try to compete, and it's a fraction of the cost to go used over new. Yeah. So it's
what's the warranty look like?
So all of our parts come with a standard 6-month part warranty. And then, we have extended warranties. I know, on our engines and the bigger stuff, we do labor warranties on top of it, for an additional cost. But everything does not leave here unless it has a 6-month part warranty on it.
And that means
if the part breaks within that 6 months or there's failure with that part, you'll replace it?
Yep, I'll replace it. And if we can't replace it, we give you your money back.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Not a lot of things are offering something like that anymore.
No, we try our best. Like I said, it's a big, competition out there, right? But it's, if we could help, the person looking for, a cheaper part, but try to get the same quality and everything, that's what we're here for.
And I know everybody's pretty
cost conscious these days. Everything seems to be getting more expensive. So anywhere you could save $1, it's
absolutely
good thing to do. And I know too, I wanted to maybe just touch on real quick about some of the green initiatives that you guys have there, because again, I know everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people operate under certain stigmas when it comes to what you guys are doing, right? And so I know that you guys, and maybe it's an industry standard, maybe it's not, but I know that you guys spend a lot of time, money, and resources on some green initiatives. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yep. So going back to the junkyards, right? They used to, pull a radiator or something and just cut the hose and let it leak all over the ground. And that's not what we do here. Everything comes in, all the fluids get drained. We recycle what we can. The oil we get used for our heating over the winter, so we run it off recycled oil. All the antifreeze and stuff, we have a company that comes and pumps them all out. So again, nothing's going into the ground. We just try to recycle the most we can. I mean, even our pressure washer, we recycle all the water. So it goes through a big filtration system and comes back out the pressure washer, and it's just a big recycling unit.
That's
So
interesting. I actually did not know that.
About the pressure washing.
yep.
I assume that's a lot of water.
Water too.
Yeah. It's a big unit.
So I know that one of the big reasons we wanted to jump on and do this interview is because you guys have your annual car show.
Yep.
Why don't we start? Give us some of the dirty details on the car show.
Well, I guess a little history of it is we started it back in 2022. Kind of coming out of the COVID area, and everybody was coming out of winter, and I wanted to do it like as a cookout for the employees, and a lot of them have cars and stuff, so bring a car, we'll have a cookout, bring your family. And we kind of posted it up on Facebook to see if anybody else would be interested, and we kind of had a huge turnout. It was very surprising. I mean, I think we were out of food and out of shirts. We had t-shirts here. We were out of everything in a short time. And then we winded up making about $1,200 from all the registered cars. We kind of did like a little short registry and stuff. We winded up making about $1,200 for the Franklin Community Center over in Saratoga.
Yeah.
And we gave everything we made. We didn't take a dollar, gave it all to them. So I guess after that, going into last year's car show, Casey and I sat down and were like, wow, this thing can be pretty big. So then last year we chose the Double H out of Lake Luzerne. And then did a little more, started charging a little bit for food, t-shirts, just, car registry, just to try to, get the donation a little higher. Wind up raising $6,500 for the Double H.
Wow.
Yeah. So we had about over 150 cars here, and then probably I'd say 300 to 400 people were walking around at any certain time. It was huge.
Where do you put all the cars?
So, in our parking lot, obviously, and then we have the field next to us. Casey owns, and then Casey's uncle owns the field above that. So we kind of have a little room.
Nice. I wasn't sure.
You're like putting them like it'd be kind of funny if you're putting them out with the cars in the back, that you're pulling parts from. You had quite the contrast between some of those.
Yeah. No, try not to.
Yeah. And so
Let's talk about this year's event.
So who are you raising money for this year?
This year it's the Folds of Honor, New York.
Tell us a little bit about
Folds of Honor.
So, they handle a lot of scholarships and stuff for the, American soldiers and first responders that have been lost for the families. So they do a lot of scholarships and help out the families of all the veterans and the lost soldiers and stuff. So it's kind of something that's kind of near and dear to our hearts here. We do a lot with Folds of Honor. We sponsor their golf tournament and sponsor their little, they have a little get together. We sponsor that. So it's something that we've continued to do, and it's for a great cause. So we're trying, this year I want it to be one of the biggest events we've had. I'm trying to raise over $10,000 for them, which, they say is probably their second largest donation that they've had other than events that they've posted. So
Yeah, because
It's
they do a lot.
Right?
yeah, they do a lot. Like it's a big you know event that they hold. So it's good. I mean, they'll be here. They're gonna line the whole road up with all their flags, and they're gonna have all their merchandise here. So it should be a very very big event.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And obviously they help.
Get the word out and pull people in as well.
Yeah. Yep.
How many cars are you shooting for this year?
Hoping for around 200.
Oh yeah.
So we put an event out. I made a public event on Facebook, and there's over 800 people that are interested. So
Wow.
hopefully, even if a quarter come, we should have a good turnout.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe you have to turn some people away.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we're kind of prepared for it. I mean, it's we're down to the final couple weeks here, so it's May 3rd, from 9 to 2. Yep, May 3rd, 9 to 2, right at our place in Greenfield, 62 South Greenfield Road, Greenfield Center. So
Yeah, you turn down that road
Off of Route 9 if you're heading north or south, and you won't miss it, right?
can't miss it. We take up a lot of the road.
I bet. I'm just curious. What does it look like for you guys to put that event on from just a coordination standpoint? Is there a lot that goes into it?
Yes, I mean, from where we were with the first event, which is like a couple weeks for like, well, let's throw a little cookout together, to I think we started planning this end of December, beginning of January, and trying to get all the key factors done, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
So, food and merchandise, and trying to get all the volunteers here to help park the cars and cook and all that stuff. It's everything. Everybody does it. Everybody that's working here is a full volunteer. So nobody's paid. They're all donating their time.
That's amazing.
Yep.
What for people that
Maybe have not gone to a car show before, right? And because I know there might be a couple people out there, but what goes on? Like what's the thing behind the car show?
It's just, a fun, relaxing day. You pull your car up, you'll see a lot of people. I say it starts at 9. There'll be people here at 7:30, armor all in their tires in the parking lot, and it's just relaxing. They all bring their lawn chairs. They sit there. They come with a lot of their buddies, so they just mingle and talk, and it's pretty cool. It's like the car community is one in its own.
You're a car guy as well. I don't know if that's did you gravitate towards the industry because you're a car guy, or did you become a car guy because you ended up in the industry?
I became a car guy because I ended up in the industry. I worked for Rent-A-Center before this, selling TVs.
Right. I remember that. That's
Yep.
That was a long time ago though.
Yeah. That was about 15 years ago. So I started that, and then I got a job with a yard out in Queensbury, which sold to a corporate facility there. So I worked for them for 10, 12 years, and so I sold car parts there, and I pulled parts and loaded trucks, and then about 3 years ago I stepped into the management role, kind of. So
what
As far as the cars themselves, what kind of cars are we going to be looking at that are going to be on at the show?
I mean, there was anything from old wooden 1926 cars here to 2024 trucks here. It's a wide variety. It's nuts. I mean, you'll see it all.
Cars. It's everything in between.
It's everything in between. I mean, you'll have your muscle cars, you'll have your modern cars, you'll have trucks, and motorcycles will be here. And it's huge.
Yeah. What
What do you think? Hopefully, this wouldn't alienate anyone, but what do you think the coolest car is going to be there?
Personally, one of my favorite cars growing up was a Chevelle.
Yeah.
1972 Chevelle is probably my favorite car.
And
who's bringing that? Someone bringing that car? You got that car?
I don't have that car. No. One of my buddies does. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy's is 1972, right? Oh. One of our friends, Jeremy, has a 70 Chevelle. It's close, similar body style. That'll be here.
The stripes? Does it have the stripes
down the roof?
It does. Yep.
I feel like you have to have those stripes. I feel like with that
car.
Yeah. Yep.
so May 3rd.
pretty much all day. Lots of
Pretty
great
much all
cars
day.
to look at and talk to people about. Food, folds of
Yep.
honor.
What am I missing?
That's pretty much it. I mean, there's going to be trophies and like you said, food, and I'll have merchandise here. Folds of Honor is going to have all their merchandise, and
What's
it's just going to be a good time.
Is there like a competition that goes on?
For what?
You said trophies.
What are the trophies for?
Trophies just for, we have a trophy for best modern car, best muscle car, best antique, couple other ones. And then I even got a little bit bigger trophy. I'm going to let Folds of Honor pick the best in show. So I'll have a guy from Folds of Honor go around and pick, the best in show for the car show.
Do you guys have like judges that
Make those decisions? Like, what is the selection process for that look like?
Yeah, I mean, so we have, volunteer judges that'll go around and they'll have a sheet, they'll check the paint on the car, they'll check the interior, check the engine, just look pretty much overall for like the cleanest build.
Yep.
Or put together car. So
that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, always nice to have
A little competitive factor added into things, right? Makes it fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I don't know if it's
more cool to have the competition to have you something to reach for, or the disagreements you get to have about the decisions afterwards, right? That's
a little
not
bit of
the
both,
one
right?
I want to pick. Yeah, it just makes for fun conversation. Oh, that's great.
So,
if people want to learn more about the event or more about Cornell's, where do they go?
Go to our website, cornellsuseautoparts.com. There you could even search our inventory and all that stuff if you ever need a part. You can call us 518-893-0151, speak to one of our sales representatives, or even just go on social media or Instagram or Facebook, Cornell's Auto Parts. So you'll find everything you need in one of those places. It's
nice. And then you said
is there a Facebook specific group for the event?
There is. It's the 3rd annual Cornell's Car Show is the name of the event on there. So got to watch it. There's been some scams I've noticed since it got a lot bigger. There's always people trying to register and stuff. It's Casey or I are the only people that do any of that. So don't go giving your money to a scam artist.
Yeah. So, amazing. What a world, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, Mike, I really appreciate you jumping on with me today, taking time out. I'm excited for the car show. Can't wait to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hop, skip, and jump from my house, so it makes it super easy.
Yeah, make sure you stop by.
I will be there for sure. And
thanks for jumping on, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for everything you do for us. We appreciate all your help.
Absolutely.
And for everybody listening, check them out May 3rd, right over in Greenfield. You really, like as we said, you really can't miss it. And thanks for everybody for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for reading. Of course, you can find us buyinglocal.us is our new address for the publication, as we've done that little brand repositioning to open up our markets in Warren, Washington, and Saratoga County and be more inclusive of the different communities that we serve on a day-to-day basis. So thanks, everybody. You can find us, of course, also Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Rumble, pretty much anywhere people are digesting content like this. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And you'll hear from us next week. Thanks again, Mike.
Thank you.